Pregnancy is the time period during which a baby develops inside the uterus of a woman. It usually lasts about 40 weeks, starting from the first day of the last menstrual period. These 40 weeks are grouped into three segments called trimesters.
The first trimester lasts about 13 weeks. During the first 2 weeks, you aren't actually pregnant because of the way your due date is being calculated, but your body is preparing for pregnancy.
During the second week, an egg is released from your ovary in a process called ovulation. Around the end of the second week, the baby is conceived in a process called conception or fertilization. This happens when a sperm from the father merges with the egg from the mother, usually in the fallopian tubes. During conception, genetic material from the mother and father combine to form a unique genetic code, instantly determining sex, hair color, eye color, and hundreds of other characteristics. This new single cell, called a zygote or embryo, is the beginning of a new human being.
During the third week, the zygote divides to form a hollow ball of cells called the blastocyst. The cells of the blastocyst begin to arrange themselves into two groups. The inner group will develop into your baby, and the outer group will form tissues to nourish and protect it.
During week 4, the blastocyst moves into the uterus, where it hatches out of its outer layer. Once freed from this outer layer, the blastocyst can embed itself in the thickened lining of the wall of the uterus in a process called implantation.
Week 5 to 10 are referred to as the embryonic period. All of the major organs starts to grow such as the heart, the brain, and the spinal cord. In this period, the heart starts to beat. Structures called placenta and umbilical cord begins to provide life support to the embryo. They bring nutrients and oxygen from the mother to the embryo. Bones and muscles starts to grow beneath thin transparent skin. Toward the end of the embryonic period, the embryo starts to look more human. At the end of the week 10, the embryo is now called fetus and is about 1.25 inches long from head to rump.
During the next few weeks, the arms and legs grow longer and start to move. Fingers and toes finish developing and the baby's face becomes well formed. By the end of the first trimester, your baby is almost 3 inches long.
That's fascinating. But I've also heard about teratogens. What are they and how can they affect the baby during this time?
Teratogens are substances or factors that can interfere with normal fetal development and potentially cause birth defects. These can include
Alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumptions can lead to what we call fetal alcohol syndrome or FAS and can cause developmental issues.
Tobacco, smoking, and exposure to secondhand smoke can increase the risk of preterm birth, low birth weight, and developmental problems.
Drugs. The use of illicit drugs or certain prescription medications can have harmful effects on the baby's development.
Infections. Some infections such as rubella or cytomegalovirus or CMV, if contracted during pregnancy, it can lead to birth defects.
Environmental toxins. Exposure to chemicals, pesticides, and radiation can also be harmful.
That is concerning. Are there any precautions we can take to avoid teratogens?
Absolutely. So here are some steps to minimize the risk.
Avoid alcohol and drugs. Completely abstain from alcohol and illicit drugs during pregnancy. Consult your healthcare provider about any necessary prescription medications.
Quit smoking. If you or anyone close to you smokes, it's essential to quit and avoid secondhand smoke exposure.
Ensure your vaccinations are up to date before pregnancy to prevent certain infections.
Healthy diet. Maintain a balanced and nutritious diet and avoid undercooked or raw foods.
Environmental awareness. Be cautious of exposure to chemicals, radiations, and toxins in your environment. Consult your healthcare provider if you have concerns.
Thank you for your information, guys. It's crucial to know how to protect our future baby's health during the sensitive period.
Yes, we'll do everything we can to create a safe and healthy environment for our babies.
That's the right attitude, Alphonse. Regular prenatal checkups, a healthy lifestyle, and avoiding teratogens can significantly contribute to a successful pregnancy.